Hello there, it's Ben here from the History Fella channel. Here today with this week's weekly reads video. It's been quite an interesting week. I've enjoyed the books I've been reading, and yeah, it's been a good week, and looking forward to next week's reads as well. Before I get started, I hope you're all well. I hope your families and work life and everything else is going well, especially in the run up to Christmas. And I hope if you're from the UK and watching this, hopefully you're managing to keep warm. It would be nice to put the heating on sometimes, but if you're from the UK, you'll kind of know what I mean by that. Anyway, the books I've been reading this week, I must admit, I did say I was going to read one called... one was called March Past, about a commando leader who was in various battles and that, but I decided to dodge that this week because when I opened the book up, it was rather heavy in text and kind of been having one of those weeks where, you know, everything's been a bit of a hassle, that sort of thing. So the two books, or these are two of the books I've been reading. First one, Shipwrecks in 100 Objects. Now, I know some of you might be interested in this one. It's really good. Written by Simon Willis. Yep, or Simon Wills. Published by Frontline Books. Priced at £25. Available from, obviously, Frontline Books. But if you follow the pen and sword link down below this video, if you follow that link, you might be able to get it a little cheaper, and also that's the place to get it, really. But the book is really good. It's part of a series of books about various parts of history, looking specifically at 100 objects connected to that issue or occasion or person. I've read a few of these, one on Henry VIII, the First World War. There's been a couple more that have escaped me. I think one was about U-boats, and possibly another one which I can't remember. But anyway, it's a really good read. Basically, the author looks at 100 objects that are connected with shipwrecks, and quite a few of the shipwrecks are kind of like not very well known, so you'll learn about them. But also there's a few objects from like the Mary Rose and the Titanic, that sort of thing, and he looks at articles such as postcards, shipping tickets, pictures, paintings, all kinds of things that kind of stand out from a particular shipwreck. And obviously the reason for quite a few of these shipwrecks are bad weather, monsters, pirates, just hitting the rocks, some people just being self-obsessed with building ships and that, and wanting to try them out in bad weather, and of course things ending up disastrously wrong and that sort of thing. But it's a really interesting book, and rather than everything being in depth, each chapter involves looking at one particular object, and then of course you get the story of that around the wreck and the particular item that is up for discussion. But it's a really good book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Probably about 4 or 5 hours read. But yeah, it was really good and an excellent read, and I quite like this 100 Objects series. So that's Shipwrecks in 100 Objects from Simon Willis, published by Frontline Books for about £25. Follow the link and I think you might be able to get it for 20. So that's that book. And the second book, which I must admit I wasn't quite sure of. Maybe it's the title really that threw me off first, but it's called Lucky Hitler's Big Mistakes. Written by Paul Ballard White. and published by Pen and Sword Books and priced at £25. Again, if you follow the link, you'll probably get it a little bit cheaper than that as well. But basically, it looks at the rise of Hitler, how he got into his position, because obviously he was just a corporal in the First World War in the German army, and you kind of think, oh well, how's he managed to move on up all the way to the top and take Germany or the world into another war? And it kind of charts that rise as to how, through various events and occasions and activities, or who he socialized with, it shows how he got up to that position of being the Führer. But then it also charts his way back downhill, kind of looks at the mistakes that were made during World War II, where it went wrong. Most of it was kind of down to his ineptitude and the fact that he had very little tactical warfare planning. And I think, as most people would tell you, the man was just kind of a bit of an idiot. Sometimes lucky, but then his luck eventually ran out. But it's a really good book, and it's one of those kind of topics or conversations that you find on various history-related message boards about, you know, how did Hitler get into the position he was, or how did he fail, what went wrong. And it's a really good book, really entertaining read. And again, each chapter looks at various points. Let me just go through a few of them for you. Like, on the rise, you've got excuse me, I've got an itchy nose today. You've got the Munich beer hall putsch, the Wall Street crash, the Reichstag fire, the Night of the Long Knives, appeasement, Barbarossa. And then the second half of the book is obviously looking at the Hitler's mistakes. You've got his failure to invade Britain after Dunkirk. You've got the U-boats problem, although that was mainly for the Allies having to deal with the U-boats because Germany had so many. Declaring war on the USA, Operation Barbarossa, Operation Bodyguard, and there's quite a few others. But it's a really good read, and the author goes quite in depth and studies each particular occasion and puts his point of view across as to why he thinks that. And it's just an all-round good book, and it's been a really good week of reading. I've enjoyed. Most weeks I have good books to read, but this week's been a really good week. I've enjoyed the books quite thoroughly. So that's Lucky Hitler's Big Mistakes, written by Paul Ballard White, published by Pen and Sword Books. Again, like I said, just follow the link down below this video. If you have any comments or any specifics of those two books, feel free to drop me a comment. I'm happy to answer them. And the next book, or the two books I'm going to read this week, going completely away from World War II. And we've got Cardinal Woolsey, For King and Country, written by Phil Roberts, a man who worked very closely, shall we say, with Henry VIII. So I'm looking forward to this biography. And this one says, a vivid and passionate study on a man who changed the course of Tudor England forever. A much needed biography. And that quote's from Nathan Amin. I presume he's a historian and that. That's Cardinal Woolsey, published by Pen and Sword Books. And then the second book that I'm going to read tonight, or this week rather, is The British Transport Police. A definitive history of the early years and subsequent development, written by Malcolm Clegg, published by Pen and Sword Books and priced at £25. Again, this one's going to be a little bit different because it's not actually about the London Metropolitan Police. It kind of looks at the the division or section that had to deal with transport issues like the underground and that sort of thing. So it's going to be, I think, going to be lots of new information for me, probably new stories and reasons why they do what they do. So that's that. That's Cardinal Woolsey and the British Transport Police. So hopefully it'll be another good week. Right, that's it. That's my weekly reads for the week. Thank you very much for watching. Please take care. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I mentioned in the last video, as a thank you to everyone who watches and who has subscribed. I'm now over 250 subscribers. Thank you very much. I think it's now about 262, but it's nice to know that some people have been able to watch the channel and obviously like it enough to subscribe to it. So I thank every subscriber very much. Other than that, please take care. Hope you have a good week reading, and I shall see you very soon for some more videos. So thank you very much.